Hi, I'm Linda, and this is No Frills ASMR. Yesterday, we started looking at the New York Times from Friday, March 27th. And we already went through this page, so if you want to see that, it's the video right before this one. But I thought we could finish looking at it this morning. I have to work today, so I just have a little bit of time here that we could look at. So we have tech, economy, media, finance in the business section. Ooh, that's sad. I don't want to look at that. I can't take any more bad news. But this is about juries move to protect young users on the internet. Yeah, I'll just say about that. If you have kids, young kids, I would recommend not really try to keep them from putting their image or video of themselves on the internet or having them on your videos, because I personally have had some disturbing things happen with video, and I know that sounds crazy because seems that I don't show myself much, but in the little bits, and it's kind of crazy, like what people can do and will do for no good reason. So I would just recommend try to keep your kids off of that. As a person who's on here, I know it seems weird to say, but a new generation joins the fight, seeing risks beyond social media. Yeah. Natural gas runs low in Europe. So that's part of the business and tech, I guess. Europe is facing its second major energy shock in less than 5 years, and there are intensifying concerns about the region's relatively meager stores of natural gas as prices surged during the U.S.-Israeli war in Iran. Trying to get it right. What do we have here? OECD predicts surge in U.S. inflation to 4.2%. The war in the Middle East will lead to a surge in inflation this year as the closure of the Strait of Hormuz pushes up prices of oil, gas, and other commodities, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development said on Thursday. I'll tell you what, I have a, I never worked at a business or anything, so I don't have like a 401k. I've always kind of worked for myself. So I have a Roth IRA, which if you are a self-employed, you should definitely open yourself a Roth IRA. And depending on your income is how much you can put into it each year. That's like a retirement account for self-employed. I can't remember if I ever did a video about that. If you want, I could try to do that. But I'm no expert on that though. But I have run my own businesses for about, gosh, I think it's about 20 years now. Yeah, I might be right. But yeah, Roth IRA. Anyway, mine's down so much. I'm like, and I have pretty safe investments, but a lot of it's just in the BOO, which is like a Vanguard index fund. It's down. Anyway, Academy Awards moving from its Hollywood digs. Yeah, they're moving to a different place, and then they're going to be on YouTube only, I think. Stocks and bonds. Uncertainty about war in Middle East batters Wall Street. Yeah, if you have some cash right now, well, it's funny because we have a text chat group, my sons and husband and I, called Stonks, where we just talk about stocks. And I was like, it's kind of a buy, but if we have this inflation, it could go down a lot more. And that's the thing with stock market. You never really know when it's a buy. I mean, if you keep buying, then you get it at all the different prices, and there's a name for that. But I don't know. I don't know if it knows about it. What happened in the stock markets yesterday? this happened. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. The M dash love affair. What is that? Oh, you know what? Here's what bugs me about that. Okay. So, one thing with AI, you can tell if people are using AI because it uses this, what they call an M dash. But I have used that since college. I love an M dash. It's something I use all the time. And now I feel like I have to take it out and put a comma in so people don't think it's AI. But I'll tell you what about the AI M dash. See how long it is? If you see, like when I make an M dash, it goes space, small dash, space. This is like some kind of long. But it really bugs me that now people assume it's AI if you have an M dash. I'm like, no, that's just the way I can show you old handwritten where I used it. Look, an M dash. Even ChatGPT uses it, I bragged. Yeah, this is somebody who used one and now other people use it. I know, I remember a time when I was like the only person using it. Not true, but it felt that way. Okay, what is this? The ivy clicked steadily. It did not care for my regret. She woke up and stared at me for the longest time, counting every version of me she loved. What? I don't know what this is. Oh, this seems sad. Are these like, I don't know. Some of those look sad. I woke up this morning, I don't know, with a weird feeling, and I'm trying to brush it off. U.S. sues New York Presbyterian for deals that kept cost high. I've been watching The Pit, and there's a lot in there about like healthcare. There is a guy, there's a storyline basically about a guy who isn't poor enough to be on, and poor is not a great word, but you know what I mean, doesn't make a small amount enough of money. Him and his wife are both working. They have like 3 kids or 5 kids, I forget. And so they make enough money to like pay all their bills and stuff, kind of, but not enough what am I trying to say? Not a small enough amount to be on Medicaid, but too much to get a deal on Penny, which is like the marketplace. That is for real. That is a for real situation that I personally have been in, where I was like, there are some health issues in my family. I could not lose my insurance. And I knew if I actually went and looked. I knew if I made a certain amount, that would screw me up totally. So I would intentionally keep my income down enough so that I could keep the insurance, because that was more important than the money. Like, that's crazy, and that's true. And it's crazy. But like, you have to be in if you get in this one area, there's like this gray area, it'll knock you off of everything. And just the cost of the insurance would be more than you make in a year. Like, it's actually crazy. Anyway, safety experts consider LaGuardia challenging, but not an outlier. Mortgage rates jump yet again to 6.38% as war goes on. I am so thankful my son got in on a locked rate because he's closing on a house like this upcoming week. And I was like, oh no, the mortgage rates are going up again. But he said he's locked in at his rate. So whew, that's good. Because that's up quite a bit actually from what I thought he locked in kind of high, but he can always refinance, I guess. A startup in defense tech gets $2 billion in new funds. Artificial intelligence, autonomous drones, and other technologies have transformed battlefields in hotspots like Ukraine and Iran. A tech-driven arms race to develop the tools has put next-generation defense contractors in high demand. Among them is Shield AI, which announced on Thursday that it had raised $2 billion, with some of the proceeds going toward buying Acalon Technology, a smaller defense tech startup specializing in simulation software. Wow. $2 billion. Did you guys see that? Russia is sending drones to Iran. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Juries hold social media sites accountable for young users. Europe's supply of natural, okay, those are continuations. New generation of parents join fight against big tech. I feel like these are all part of that article, and I have to say it's a real problem, but not for right this moment, because it's like you feel so, you feel like I don't know I don't even know what to do about it. You know what I'm saying? AI generated images. Oh my gosh, how many commercials right now are just AI? It's like everything. And articles. I saw this one yesterday, and it was a little girl and a dog. And supposedly she hasn't seen her dog in forever. And the dog takes a moment, and then he recognizes her and goes and puts his head down. And at the end of the little write-up about it, it says this is AI-generated story. I'm like, oh my God. And the video is AI. And it looks real, except for the one guy kind of goes through a wall. But like photos and stuff, I don't know. I will guarantee you that right now, I am not AI. For now, until somebody steals my voice. Oh, look, here's a bracket for women's basketball. People have been asking me to do like brackets for, but I don't even know where to begin. But this is kind of nice. I mean, I don't follow it at all, I'll be honest. I don't know anything. My uncle used to follow women's basketball. He was a Virginia Tech Hokie fan. I don't see Virginia Tech on here. It must be here. Oh, no, that's just Virginia. Or are they not in it? Ohio State, Notre Dame, North Carolina, Maryland, Connecticut, Minnesota, Baylor, Duke, Texas Tech, Virginia Tech, Oregon. And then, so they're picking, or no, this is who actually won. Oh, so they're out already? Is that? Yeah, they're out already. Oh, okay. Huh. You know, I do kind of like that bracket. Anyway, it's hard to keep hating Duke when the old reasons no longer apply. I didn't know we hated Duke. Oh, this paper is making my hands. Weather report. This is kind of hard to see because it's not in color. A weekend arts. Divine beauties welcome rebirth. A blockbuster exhibition at the Metropolitan Museum of Art humanizes a titan of painting. Why is she holding a unicorn? That's what it says. A little baby unicorn, a foal with soft fur, a snub nose, a smooth muzzle, and a horn like a narwhal's tusk, spiraling up to heaven. The maiden that Raphael painted around 1505 cradles the critter, tender and tame. She's sitting upright at a slight angle in this half-length profile, She's gazing out to the side, the same breath of life pose in which Leonardo placed a brunette named Lisa a few years before. Mona Lisa. But why a unicorn? For status, perhaps? The mythological beast was an emblem of the Farnese family, one of Italy's grandest dynasties, or perhaps for marketing. Only a virgin could tame the dangerous unicorn, the legend went, and the wealthy sitter here was probably on the marriage market, advertising her chastity. Always check the jewelry, a chunky ruby around her neck, but no ring on her finger. You can't see her fingers, really. Looking at the hands, though, how the maiden wraps her thumb and forefinger around the beast's front hoof, the effortless show-off move of the unicorn's tuft fur brushing her wrist. Virtue, purity, fecundity, I've never heard that word, charm. It's as if Raphael is sabotaging himself. The blushing bride-to-be embodies feminine virtues to a degree present only in unicorn land. She is so beautiful, she's not real. I don't know, I feel like they're reading off a lot. There's the painting. Okay. Portrait of a young woman with a unicorn. Briefly on loan from Rome. Okay, dance stars, orbits, intersect. Okay. Oh my God, you know how you get a word wrong and then you can't correct it in your head. Existential howl of rage and despair. You can hear the rage behind the laughter in the Israeli satire, Yes, and you can hear the despair in its lamentation. Set in the wake of the October 7th, 2023, when the Palestinian militant group Hamas led a deadly assault in southern Israel. Man, you can't get away from sad stories, even in the arts section. Well, arts are supposed to tell stories like that, though. Look what spring has sprung. In May, at Alice Tully Hall, the Minty Fresh Circus will perform a program inspired by the abolitionist Harriet Tubman. Seder and show, Easter fun, free Easter egg hunts, mini metropolises, field of dreams, hands-on math, blossom bonanza, super slides, lots of entertainment, yummy treats, picnic from mom, let 'em cook. This would be fun if you lived in New York City. There'd always be something interesting going on. It would be cool. Revenge 2017 on Tubi. These are movies to stream for free. Lady Snowblood from 1973. Oh my goodness. Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance from 2002. Old Boy from 2003. And Lady Vengeance from 2005. Okay. Kennedy Center to award Bill Mayer the Mark Twain Prize. He's been looking like extra skinny lately, hasn't he? Earlier, the White House denied that the talk show host and satirist would be honored. I don't know anything about this story. I haven't watched him in ages. I don't even know when I saw him last. I don't know. Let's see. Tending family wounds to save one's skin. A reckless incident at a party throws a girl's life into turmoil in this extraordinary feature from Julia Ducournau. Maybe. I'm not sure you said. now, but here comes a world of woes. I see a T-Rex in the background. What is this? A scorching satire about humanity and the alarming absence of it. Esther Tompa, whose character works as bailiff in a city in northwest Romania in the film Continental 25, directed by Radu Jude. I don't know anything about that. BTS, The Return. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. BTS performing this month in Seoul is part of its comeback tour. Steve Zahn and his daughter, Audrey Zahn, I can't remember. She dances in a movie called She Dances, I guess. I forgot about him. I'll look up his picture. I can't remember what he looks like. From left, Lili Reinhardt, Victoria Pedretti, and Alexandra Shipp in Forbidden Fruits. Directed and written by Meredith Alloway. Okay, so we have BTS Returns. These are film reviews. Fantasy Life, Forbidden Fruits, A Magnificent Life, and Our Hero, Balthazar. Oh, and She Dances. What do they say? Let's see. BTS Return. This is, in short, as polished as you would expect, a work about a pop behemoth, a companion piece to their new album. That's less a revelatory look at the meaning of their time away than a sentimental welcome back. So basically, if you like them, you'll probably like it, I guess. This one is Fantasy Life. We'll just read the last paragraph. It says, the casually starry cast of supporting players ably populates the family and friends byplay and bits. But the movie's flow might rest with its season-spanning chapters. It's a device that also bears a message. Time moves on, and so can we. Okay, Forbidden Fruits. R-rated for campy carnage, dressing room sex, nudity, drug use, and language. Okay, Forbidden Fruits spills plenty of secrets, eventually even blood, but never lets them land fully. Its gory B-movie horror ending isn't just abrupt, it feels unearned. A Magnificent Life, rated PG-13 for death and the suggestion of sex. Just suggesting it. The characters of A Magnificent Life speak in British English with upper-class and Cockney accents reserved for the Parisian characters and Welsh ones. What? Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Sure, it's a way of extending an olive branch to English language viewers, but who, if not a Francophile, would enjoy such a meticulous recreation of Pagnell's life and time? I don't know. Okay. Our Hero, Balthazar, rated R for crude sexual content, graphic nudity, language throughout, and violence and drug use. Oh my goodness. So many details in this comedy drama are meant to provoke, and Our Hero, Balthazar, teases with the promise of a darkly intelligent film. Not unlike its protagonist's tears, the effect is dismayingly performative. That doesn't sound good. She Dances, rated PG-13 for language. I don't want to say that. That might spoil it. While the picture, directed by Rick Gomez, has an often jaunty tone, it's really at its best when it leans into sadness and shadows the father-daughter relationship. Those scenes are where the two Zahns do their best, most effective acting work. The movie's finale is on the exasperating side, but the filmmakers deserve credit for not settling on predictable moment of triumph. Okay. You guys want to Jeopardy question you can answer in the comments if you know it. Okay, Jeopardy clue of the day. Category, celebrity memoirs. Ready for your question? And you must, if you answer it, you must answer in the form of a question. So I'm really not giving you a question. I'm giving you the answer. In the title of a 2023 memoir, Dame Judi Dench calls him the man who pays the rent. For the correct response, watch Jeopardy. Well, if you watched Jeopardy and saw that, then let us know that too. A New York co-op from hell where gore is an amenity. Oh no, I don't want to say there. It's a co-op where it's all gory and like horror. Nope. A case in which a production designer and prosthetics team showed up for work, but the screenwriters may as well have crowdsourced their ideas from fanboys. The Splatterfest, They Will Kill You, largely takes place at an exclusive Manhattan co-op, said to be occupied by some of the borough's most odious elite. Okay, it's a film. I thought it was an actual co-op that had this theme. I know some people personally who would love to live in a place that had like a horror movie theme. For sure. Releasing an existential howl of rage and despair in Israel. So this is the film, yes. Okay. Oh, the horror of getting married. Haley Z, Boston, turns a generational fear of commitment into a creepy series with a little help. Okay. Ooh, it's pretty. Enlightenment has arrived, bringing awe. Some 70 works from South Asia create a show that balances gravity and delicacy. Okay. That's cool. Prints and Drawings. International Fine Print and Drawing Association. You know, I used to own an art gallery, and I would do shows sometimes for these associations. So I didn't pick the artist. I would just open the gallery up and allow them, not allow, you know, it sounds obnoxious for me, but they would have their people bring stuff in, and if anything sold, I'd get a cut. Plus, I had my other artist stuff still in there, so, you know, it brought people in, and it would bring a lot of people in. But the one of my artists who I was friends with was part of one of the groups, and I won't say what group it was, but I remember we were looking at all the pieces that they had brought in, and she goes, if I see one more womb, I'm gonna like tear them all apart. And it was so true. I'll tell you, it was a fiber type exhibit, let's put it that way. But there was one womb thing after another, and it was just funny. We were like, yeah, this is a lot of wombs in this room. It's a womb room. Anyway, Divine Beauty's Welcome Renaissance. I would like to see this. Look at, I love these old. I think they're so cool to look at. Like sometimes they're so realistic. It's like you've gone back in time. Like you're seeing, they're almost like hyper realistic. Some of them with the shadows and the way the skin looks. I just think it's awesome. Look at all these radiators and zip ties. Okay. The Joy of Traveling Well. Oh, Oceana Cruises. They sent me a catalog because I requested it because I was going to show it on here. Maybe I already did. I don't remember. But, oh my God. I would love to do one of those cruises. They're expensive though. Alright, well, I think that's about it, my friends. So we did weekend arts. We looked at business. And then we looked at the front page. I think we looked at everything. Oh, they say memes and mixed messages. Have you seen the memes that... Well, I think it started with the White House put out memes about Israel. No, I'm sorry, not Israel. Iran. And then Iran's been putting out like these AI generated... They're both doing these AI generated, like, I don't know what you call them, little mini movies or whatever. It's crazy. It is insane that all of us regular people have to live in a world where the heads of state are putting out meme wars with each other while also blowing each other up and killing innocent people. It's insane, the world we live in. It's we elected these people, so who's to blame, really? It's like when Tyra Banks says about Next Top Model, you watched. Who's to blame? Have you watched that Next Top Model on Netflix? Tyra Banks, she's something else, man. But I actually thought all of them. I thought I used to watch Next Top Model, like I saw every episode for years. But the guy Nigel, who was the photographer, he's kind of just as bad. He's just like so unapologetic for anything. They can't like say any single thing they did was like, yeah, that was kind of over the top. Like, no, they're just like, hey, we had to do it. We had to do it. I don't know. It's wild. Anyway. All right, guys. I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all. I'm trying to think what the answer to that Judi Dench question